Do you know, man, that you can actually mess your life completely up? You can jack it all the way up and you can turn around and get it right. Do you understand that? See, the real secret, and I tell this to everybody, you have to care about every minute of your day. It's too many people doing stuff that's non-productive. You ain't got time for that. If you ain't where you want to be, you got to be hustling. The dream is free. The hustle is so separate. It's the deal. And so every minute of my day is planned, even when whatever I do. You know, but look, man, if you got to smoke one every day, if you got to drink a cold one every day, if you got to make sure you watch Scandal when it come on Mondays, and you got to be there for Atlanta Housewives on Wednesday, if that's your schedule right there, I got some very startling news for you. You ain't gonna make it, man. You ain't gonna make it. You're not gonna be successful. You're gonna be ordinary, man. If you want to be ordinary, there's nothing wrong with that. There's far more ordinary people. So if your desire is to be ordinary, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if you want to be successful, if you want to have a quality lifestyle, to be able to play with the big boys, it's every minute of the day. What I was thinking about the other day, I was thinking about parenting, because, you know, my kids are parents now. I have 1, 2, 3 kids of mine that's parents now. And it's very different because they discipline their kids different. You know, they take their phones, they limit their time on the computer, they have a time out. I don't know where that came from. I'm just sitting here looking at them, and I'm trying to figure out where they got this from. See, because, and then they tell them this one, you can't go out with your friends. No Skyping. How is that a punishment? No Skyping. See, back in the day, we had a lot of different ways of disciplining our kids too, but each one of these methods involved some form of whooping. I don't care what. Steve Harvey got every type of whooping known to man. They came in categories. You ever got that "don't make me run after you" whooping? You ever had your mama say, "Don't run, don't run, don't you run, don't you make me run after you"? So you had to stand there and she walked over and whooped your ass. Then sometimes you ever ran and they make you come back to get that whooping. Now you know what was crazy about this? Because I knew I could outrun these people. My mom and dad ain't ever been able to catch me. One of my weak points in my personal life is I don't like technical stuff. So even though I have to be on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, I don't care for that. So guess what? I find somebody who loves to do that. You know, I find somebody who has a strength where I will have a weakness, and I partner with them. All you're trying to do is get to the goal. No one gets there by themselves. Everybody needs help. Now, when you know what you got going for you, be confident, not cocky. Managing your strengths, knowing what they are, and don't let nobody talk you out of it. And that gets you fight ready. You just got to keep developing the strength. Don't let nobody talk you up. At the same time, you must work on improving your weaknesses. So I've had to, in spite of myself, get on Instagram, get on Twitter, get on Facebook. I got to do the videos whether I want to or not, because the world is moving to social media. If I had as many followers as Kim Kardashian, I probably wouldn't even have to do this TV show. But don't go down there, memorize all these scriptures, and then don't apply none of them to your life. That's what I'm talking about. Quit going down there just to go, and just get a couple of scriptures and apply them to you. Let me give you one that's real simple. See, these principles of success. They've taken all of these scriptures and they put them in books, and they call them, you know, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. But everything in there is a scripture. They just reworded it because people don't know how to read the Bible. Like, I can't really read the King James Version. I can't. 4 verses of that, I go to sleep. Cause hence, furthermore, whatsoever, whosoever. Who is you talking about? I need a name, dog. Not whomsoever, cause I'm thrown off. I didn't do good with reading and comprehension in school. The smallest scripture I ever read changed my life. The scripture real simple. You have not because you ask not. Do you know the difference that could make in your life? I'm just giving you real talk now. I'm just trying to tell you how I got here. See, I have no education. I applaud all of you with your education. I've seen them talking to so many men who have in corporate America and all that. I'm in awe of that because I don't have that.
You thought you was just going to have a dream and a goal, and you were just going to wake up and just walk into the sunset. You're like, dream, boom. It don't work like that. You have a dream, and then life punks you. Life punks you and say, do you really want this? You're going to lose friends. Do you really want this? Do you really want this? Cousins going to abandon you. People that you used to be like this with going to think you bougie and don't want to deal with you. It's a part of it, but I paid too much. And so I'm telling y'all, you have come too far to quit now. You have invested too much to quit now. You have lost too much to quit now. Get a reward for your pain. Don't cry about it. Don't whine about it. Get a reward for it.
If you give up on your dream, what's left? Because the people who accomplish their dreams in this world stopped telling people about them and started showing them. They never once gave up on a dream just because of the amount of time it took to accomplish it. No, they knew that the time was gonna pass anyway. Every single successful person that accomplished a dream will tell you that as soon as you truly start pursuing your dream, your life wakes up and everything has meaning. You need to know without a shadow of a doubt that it's going to happen. And when you believe wholeheartedly, then there's no need to call it a dream.
That's all I want you to do when you look at your dream. Just say to yourself every day, it's possible. Just say that every day to yourself, it's possible. You start right here. And when you start right now. Because the idea isn't going to execute itself. And the book isn't going to write itself. And the weights out in the gym, they're not going to move themselves. You have to do it, and you have to do it now. Get that goal, get that dream, and I've just been telling you, drive it and drive it and drive it and drive it. What I've been talking about is consistency. There is no excuse for not living up to your fullest potential. No excuse.
You've got to focus on you. And as you convince you, as you sell yourself every day, you will begin to see a difference in the things that you're doing. Telling yourself every day, here I go again. And I got what it takes. This is my day, and nothing out here is going to stop me.
You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Personal development is truly the key to the good life. You see, what you become is far more important than what you get. Most of what we have attracted by the person we have become. So here's the great challenge of life. You can have more than you've got because you can become more than you are. Unless you change how you are, you'll always have what you've got. I've discovered that income does not usually exceed personal development. Sometimes income takes a lucky jump, but unless you keep growing out where it is, it will usually come back where you are. A very rich man once said, if you took all the money in the world and divided it equally among everybody, it would soon all be back in the same pockets. I guess it is hard to keep what you haven't attracted by your own personal development. Personal development, how important. Remember, the major key to your better future is you. We get paid for value. Bringing value to the marketplace is how we get paid. Now, I know it takes time to bring value to the marketplace, but you don't get paid for the time. You get paid for the value. You don't get paid for an hour. You get paid for the value you put. in an hour. An hour is simply a convenient way to measure the value. So one of the important questions to ask is it possible to become twice as valuable and make twice as much money in the same time? Could you become 3 times as valuable and make 3 times as much money in the same time? And the answer is, of course. Yes, you can become more valuable if, and it's always if, right? Life is known as the big if. Harry Truman once said, life is iffy. How true. And here's the big if we are going to consider. It's possible to earn 2 or 3 or more times as much money in the same amount of time if you go to work primarily on yourself. And that's what we're considering in this session. Learning to work primarily on ourselves.
What is it that gives your life a sense of meaning and purpose? Because once you find that, it puts you in your power place. See, if you know what your life work is, I encourage you to start working on it. If you can't do it all at one time, do just a little bit of it. And if you don't know what it is that you showed up to do, if you don't know why you're here, I encourage you to find out what your purpose is here. What is the meaning of your life?
You have to be the hero of your own story, and you can do it with your own eyes. You're not someone who you respect. You know, you're doing what you got to do to get by, but ultimately you're not respecting yourself. And I think we all have a certain amount of appreciation and respect for hero figures. You know, like we all look at like the guy who never lies and always does the right thing and fucking helps everybody out, and that's the John Wayne character. You know, that's the ultimate hero.
Your life is certainly some sort of a journey. It's certainly some sort of a journey. You're trapped in this situation where you have a mortgage, you've got credit card bills, you've got student loans you have to pay, you have a bunch of shit going on that you have to continue to feed. And all that, and especially if you have a family and you have to feed them, oh my goodness. Then you're fully locked in, you can't take any chances whatsoever. And oftentimes people make the mistake of getting stuck. And it is just a tactical mistake, just like it would be a mistake if you got stuck on a video game. Just like it would be a mistake if you followed a map incorrectly and you got stuck in the woods. Your life is certainly some sort of a journey. It's certainly some sort of a journey. And we have to all be aware that when we're making journeys, we're not going to always make the right steps. And sometimes you have to back up and try again. And if you're in a position where you can't back up and try again, you've trapped yourself.
Has begun, and it's between you and you. There ain't nobody else in your way. See, I've heard it all. From I'm too small, to I'm not fast enough, to I'm not strong enough, to I can't make it back. This is what it takes. This is the sacrifice made for a greater good. It's called dedication. To the small things, to the little details. You aim small, you miss small. Because it's the small steps that ultimately climb mountains. So why would you skip that workout? Why would you give up on that last rep? Why would you cheat on that meal? Why wouldn't you give it your absolute all? That's called effort. And time, it stops for no one. You've got one shot at this thing called life. So it's up to you to make it happen. You got a choice where you spend every minute of your day. No one decides that but you.
Many people focus on the problem and not solutions. We spend a split second, 15, 20 minutes tearing our body down, tearing our mind down over something that we can't control. Everybody talks about their faith, but do they really got faith? Do you got that halfway faith or do you got that whole way faith? I'm talking about when you sleeping in your car, don't know where you're gonna live. Are you still gonna get up and work that day? Real motivation comes from the pain. It comes from the bottom. And if you go into the bottom and you stay, you never become Hollywood. You always stay engulfed in the neighborhood, Tom. You'll always be loved. I looked at all these celebrities, all these guys I would write to their DMs and see if they'll write me back. They never did. Broke my heart. So I told myself, when I get to this level where everybody wants to reach out to me and people want to talk to me, I'm going to answer every DM. I'm going to answer every message a man sends to me. Because I too was a man that they ignored. I too was a man that they called dumb or poor. And when I say the best gifts come from the bottom, I speak of me first. To be an example to every kid sitting at home watching his mother nod on the couch or his father incarcerated or nobody ever tell them that they love him. I do this for them. It's a duty. It's my duty, Tom. If I die today, I can die a happy man because I lived full and I died empty. I didn't work for money, Tom. Everybody that's listening to this show today, it's not money. It's how you service people. It's how you put them before you.